We go through life forming impressions of people, objects, or ideas. Sometimes these impressions can be accurate, but other times they can be completely off. With innocent passerbys, this might be okay, but what if the impressions we form end up affecting our lives in ways we wouldn't even know? What if we lose opportunities due to these impressions and decisions we make of someone or something? The halo effect is just one bias that plays a part in these decisions that may inevitably affect the rest of our lives. But before we explore this bias in detail, first subscribe to this channel and like and share this video so we can continue to feed you nuggets of gold, boost that brain and behavior. So what is the halo effect? First coined by psychologist Edward Thorndike in 1920, the halo effect refers to the tendency for us to allow a given impression, whether positive or negative, to influence our judgments based on those specific special characteristics. Let's say we have a positive impression of someone based on a particular trait or quality that they have. We tend to perceive their other attributes more favorably based on that quality. One study that is notable from Thorndike is the one called the halo effect in consumer behavior. In it, he got participants to take a look at several advertisements for products and asked them to rate them based on various dimensions such as quality, durability, and price. The study found that positive evaluation of a product influenced participants' ratings of specific dimensions. The specific attributes of products that received positive ratings generally tended to be higher than those that received negative ratings. Another notable study conducted by psychologist Karen Dion looked at the halo effect in the context of physical attractiveness. Participants were shown photographs of individuals and asked to rate their intelligence, kindness, and other traits. The result revealed a strong correlation between physical attractiveness and the positive attributes assigned to the individuals. Participants tend to assume that physically attractive individuals possessed other desirable qualities such as intelligence or kindness, even if this was not the case to be true. Obviously, cases like the studies mentioned above show that we can be misguided by physical attractive traits alone or incorrect attribution of physical or positive qualities. But this can be quite dangerous, especially if it comes to our day-to-day life or if somebody uses the bias to their advantage. We can see this in celebrity or influencer endorsements. Consumers often associate positive qualities of a celebrity, such as their talent, their charisma, their success, with said endorsed item. This can lead to an inflated perception of the product's quality, even if it may not be objectively superior to other alternative brands. Of course, this is also the authority bias at play, but this is something we talk about in another video. Some of the main reasons why the halo effect even happens, we have cognitive shortcuts. What this means is that our brains simplify complex information through mental shortcuts. Instead of having to think critically and analyze people or products, which takes a lot of cognitive resources, we simply rely on these mental shortcuts like the halo effect to make the decision for us. Then there's also additional biases such as the confirmation bias, which plays a part in influencing our decisions. When we have a positive overall impression, we may selectively interpret and seek out information that then reinforces or confirms that impression. As the confirmation bias implies, we have a tendency to search for information that confirms our overall beliefs. Furthermore, there is also the aspect of emotional association. Positive impressions associated with the halo effect often evoke positive feelings. Emotions can then affect cognitive processing and decision-making from a neurological perspective. When positive emotions are present, our brains may be open to process said information better, and thus a more positive evaluation inevitably occurs. Knowing about the halo effect is important as we can become more aware of how this plays tricks on our brain and the decisions that we make. When we deal with advertisements or promotions led by celebrities, we are less likely to be persuaded blindly if we know that the halo effect might actually be at play. Instead of associating that given product to be very positive just because we have an idea of that celebrity's positive attributes, we learn to separate the two. Also in relationships, this also matters because as understanding the halo effect can help maintain realistic expectations in relationships. We aren't so clouded by the impression in itself, but learn to dig deeper into understanding what a person is actually like. This isn't just about how we perceive other people as well, but how we market and present ourselves. If we know about the halo effect and how it influences impressions, then we can actually try to apply this in our own way by associating and creating more of a positive attributes or traits. While it may be hard to just associate an impression from a person, there are ways we can take to prevent the halo effect from affecting us entirely. For one, we need to learn to collect more information. Rather than relying solely on impressions, gather more specific, detailed information about a trait or quality with an interest. It's also important to challenge initial impressions, especially in this day and age where people only seem to present what they want others to see in social media, like the best photos, videos, and words about themselves. It's important to think critically about your initial impressions and consider your biases. The halo effect is a powerful cognitive bias that influences our perceptions, impressions, and decisions. One miscalculated impression can lead to a series of decisions that can alter the very course of your entire life. While that might sound dramatic, it is inevitably true because everything that we do is based on the decisions we make. It's not easy to completely eradicate the halo effect, and in fact, like I mentioned earlier, you can actually learn to use this to your advantage if you use it the right way. But when it comes to us being affected by it, you can work to minimize its impact and try to help your decision making. Remember, perception is something that we can all create, and in this day and age, it is curated. So let's learn about the halo effect so we can learn how not to be affected by it and influenced by it by too much, but also learn to leverage it in our own lives when we are presenting ourselves and wanting to be seen in a more positive light. If you like this video, you can look at the video on the left to learn about authority bias, and on the right, you can see an entire playlist of ways to improve your decision. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so we can continue to help you mind the golden mind.